This is the story of a man named Jack, who is a computer engineer, and found out that in an accident, he lost both his legs with his wife. After that, he used to live alone with his dog in his house. The dog, who is now very old, can't even walk. Having mercy on his condition, Jack mixes poison in his biscuits so that he dies easily. But he loved his dog so much, he couldn't feed him these biscuits. As we know that he is a computer engineer, that's why he always worked on computers in the basement. And in the same way, one day, he heard some strange noises in his basement, which were coming from his neighbor's house. He puts on a stethoscope and tries to listen to them, which he finds very guilty. That's why he attaches a stethoscope to his computer, so that happening in the neighbor's house, he can clearly hear everything, but despite doing this, he couldn't hear the sounds clearly. That's why after leaving everyone's house, at night, he makes a small hole in the wall, and fits a camera and microphone there. With the help of which, that was going to be there, he could keep an eye on everything. One day, a girl named Daisy comes to his house. She wanted to stay at Jack's house, because Jack had given an ad for paying guests. Her daughter was also with Daisy. Jack notices for a few days that that girl is always scared, and hides as soon as he sees someone. Jack used to get a glimpse of his daughter in this girl, so soon he gets attached with them. At night, from his computer, he now sees the activities happening in the neighbor's house. He found out that there are a lot of people in the neighbor's house, who are making a tunnel right in the middle of the house, and are also planning to blast a bomb. They have planned to do this on Christmas Day. Seeing all this, he suddenly sees that his paying guest Daisy was also with him. Seeing this, he understands that Daisy has also become a paying guest at his house according to a plan. Daisy was the girlfriend of the leader of this gang. Her leader tells her that you shouldn't have come here at this time. He now gives her a key and sends her away. Daisy comes back to Jack's house through the terrace, and here Jack does not ask her any questions. The next day, when Daisy goes to the market, Jack tries to talk to her daughter, but sees that her daughter does not say anything. She always kept saying something to Jack's dog. He wanted to know what this girl says to the dog, so he hides a microphone in the dog's throat. Now he again starts checking the footage of the cameras installed to his next door. This time he had found out their major plan. The gang members were planning a big robbery in the bank. They were making an underground tunnel, which would open in the bank's locker room, from where they would bring all the money in the lockers, back to this house through a trolley. Jack was uploading all their plans. Then a man comes there, who explains to them the way to make a tunnel from the ground to the bank. And after doing this, the leader kills the man. This man was very merciless. Jack was also scared to see all this. All this was also recorded in his cameras. As soon as he picks up the phone to report to the police, he learns that a big police officer is also involved with this gang. That is, the police will not be able to harm them. And this officer was also going to fix the dead body of this dead man. Here, this police officer informs this gang that while robbing, you did not steal anything from 747 and 748 lockers. These were his own lockers. After noting down all the plans, we see that Jack mixed some unconscious medicine in Daisy's drink. As soon as she drank it, she fainted. After that, he tied Daisy with the bed. As soon as she regained consciousness, she found Jack in front of her. Jack asked her, "Why are you supporting such bad people?" Daisy says, "Because that gang leader is my boyfriend. I love him very much and he needs a lot of money. He can't do anything but bank robbery. But one good thing about him is that he does not harm anyone." Jack tells her that this is your misunderstanding, Daisy. He shows her a footage on the laptop, in which the gang leader had killed an innocent man. Seeing this, tears started flowing from Daisy's eyes, because she knew that the man she trusted was a fraud and also a merciless person. Actually, making Daisy unconscious, tying her and telling her all these things, Jack also had a special purpose of this all. He shows Daisy his plan here and says that when these people will rob, they will bring the money to this house through a trolley. The tunnel passes right below my house. That's why I'm making a hole there so that I can pick up some money from their stolen money. Hearing all this, Daisy gets scared. She tells him, "Don't do this, you'll get caught." But Jack didn't want to listen to a single word of her. Here on the other side, the gang leader and his gang find out that the tunnel they were making was a wrong way. To reach the bank, they have to change their route. Now they also change their trolley. Earlier, the trolley they were using had no cover on it, but now the trolley had a cover. Jack, who is making his plan to get money out of their trolley. His entire plan has flopped due to the change of this trolley. Now Jack also had to change his plan. At night, with the help of the hole he made in his house, he secretly goes into the tunnel. After checking the tunnel properly, he sees a water pipe there, which he takes a measurement of. Now he was doing the same thing, that he feels some movement in the tunnel. Here the leader and his one man were coming. He quickly hides, and comes back to his house immediately after they leave. When he comes home, he sees that Daisy's daughter was not at home. He starts looking for her all over the house, and at the same time, he sees her in the cameras at the house next door. He sees that Daisy's daughter was alone there, but thankfully, there was no gang member there at the time. Daisy's daughter picks up a man's watch here, and in the meantime, the gang members also come here, who are scared and hide under the stairs. Jack sees that this time the same police officer, who was with them, had come here. He gives them the numbers of such lockers that security alarms will go off when they open them. It is obvious that they are not allowed to open those lockers. Also, he tells them the number of such a special locker, from which they had to steal secret files for the police officer. All the gang members go out of here, and as soon as they leave, Daisy's daughter comes back to Jack's house, through the same tunnel hole that Jack had made in his house. When she comes back upstairs, Jack helps her, and takes the watch of the gang member in her hand. Jack had tied Daisy up till now. We see that she gets a call from the gang leader. Jack tells Daisy that you will have to help me. You will have to pick up this call and talk to him normally, as if nothing is happening to you. When Daisy refuses to do it, Jack makes her listen to the recording again. This time the recording was of her daughter, when she used to sit with Jack's dog for hours and talk. In the recording, the girl was clearly telling that Daisy's boyfriend did a lot of wrong with her, tortured her, and when Daisy is not at home, that man tortures Daisy's daughter. And now whenever she sees a man coming to Daisy's house, she hides. She was now scared of everyone. After hearing this, Daisy also felt a shock. That leader had completely fallen from her eyes. She started hating that leader. That's why she is now ready to help Jack. She receives Jack's phone and talks to him, as if nothing has happened. Finally, the Christmas also came. The day they had to rob, they had to carry out their plan. Before these robbers blast that bomb, we see that Jack was already waiting for a bomb to come in this tunnel. He picks up the bomb, and attaches it to the pipeline that passes through this tunnel. And he quickly reaches the locker room of the bank from inside the tunnel and breaks its floor. In this way, all the lockers were in front of him. He quickly collects money from the police officer's locker. From the lockers, the police officers had forbidden the robbers to steal money. After doing this, he quickly returned to his house, before the robbers blast the bomb. As soon as the bomb is blasted, water slowly starts filling inside the tunnel. Anyway, we see that the robbers have now reached the locker room through this tunnel. They take all the money out of the locker and put it in the trolley. The trolley was held by the leader with a rope from the other side. Now the money was in the hands of the leader. Before his other colleagues could get out of the tunnel was full of water. Slowly, the water starts filling inside the locker room. And helplessly, to save their lives, the robbers open the lockers. Upon opening them, the alarm starts ringing. They knew that if the alarm rings, the police will come here and their lives will be saved. Here, right below Jack's house, a colleague of the robbers was screaming to save her life. Jack wanted to save her, but she starts screaming even louder after seeing Jack. And helplessly, Jack closes the door of this tunnel built above his house. And just like that, that girl is also killed. We see that the police had come outside the bank. Jack's house was just a little away from the bank. Jack comes out and tells the police that there is strange water in his house. The police officer who was with the robbers was also with the police. The same police officer comes into Jack's house. He had already suspected Jack. He asks for Jack's number from Jack. At this time, Jack gives him Daisy's number to save himself. After a while, in Jack's house, a gang in the guise of the police comes to check Jack's house. He was asked to open it. Jack knew that these were robbers, but if he had refused to let them in his house, his suspicion of Jack would have become even stronger. That's why he lets them in with decency. At the same time, he messages the police officer from Daisy's mobile to come to his house. But instead of seeing the message, the police officer was busy with his own work. He calls the leader here in anger and tells him that I had forbidden you to take anything out of 747 and 748 lockers. So why did you steal from there? We know that this robbery was not done by the robbers, but by Jack. At this time, the robbers had a lot of problems with themselves. He cuts the call of the police officer in anger, and starts interrogating Jack. He asks Jack, "Who lives with you in this house?" Jack says in response, "I was the only one. Until a few days ago, I had a paying guest, and her daughter was living. But just a day ago, they have left this place." As soon as he says this, Daisy's daughter comes here, and his lie is caught. The gang leader gets up and searches this house, where he also finds Daisy, but in a state of unconsciousness. Jack had made her unconscious. Now Jack's life was at risk. In anger, he kicks Jack's wheelchair and Jack falls to the ground. All these robbers now started beating him together. In the meantime, we see that a police officer's call comes on Daisy's number. From Daisy's number, in response to the message Jack had sent him. As soon as the leader receives this call, the police officer was saying from the other side that I am standing outside your house. As soon as they hear this, they open the door of the house, and quickly put the police officer inside the house. And at this time, the leader feels that the police officer, and all these people are together and they are cheating the leader. To confirm this, when he beats the police officer tells him that this number was given to him by Jack. In anger, the leader starts killing Jack. And Jack says to save himself that all this planning was done with you. He told me your secret things, and he wanted to take some money from your robbery. To prove his point true, he tells the leader the same secret things that he had heard with the help of the microphone put on the wall. And also gives the leader the watch of his companion, that Daisy's daughter had to pick up from there. Seeing the evidence against him, this man had found out that he was not going to survive now. The leader will kill him for treason. For that treason, which he did not even do, it came to his mind that if you want to save your life, then kill them. He takes out his gun and starts firing bullets here and there, in which the leader's brother and his companion die. The leader was completely broken after seeing his dead brother. He was crying his body hard for his neck. And then we see that Daisy has come here, who has now come to her senses. She was already very angry with the leader. And here, seeing the atmosphere of bloodshed, she picks up a gun in anger and kills the leader mercilessly. In this way, she took all the revenge of her own and her daughter. More than 3 people were killed here. Jack was also stuck in this hall and this police officer too. The police officer tells him that I will help you hide these bodies from here. But in return for this, give me back the money you stole from my bank locker. He picks up all these dead bodies, and puts them in the trunk of his car. And when he asks for money from Jack again, Jack has refused to give him money. And on the contrary, he starts blackmailing the police officer. By showing the video footage, it was clearly visible that this police officer was involved with the robbers. From this video, he could have trapped the police officer at any time. The police officer also realized that he had no option but to leave here quietly. Before leaving, he takes out some biscuits from the biscuit box in Jack's house, and eats them. And these were the biscuits that Jack had made for his dog. Poisoned biscuits. After all this, the police officer took his car and left from here. On the way, the biscuits showed their effect. That is, the biscuits started killing the police officer. And in this way, he had a bad accident on the road. His car was completely burnt, along with all the evidence were removed. Now there was no danger on Jack, Daisy and her daughter. These people decide to make a new family here, showing them that the story ends here.